So earlier this summer, I had a long weekend and decided to go on a little shooting adventure in the Rocky Mountains. Presently, I'm living about 8 hours away in Saskatchewan, so I just loaded up my camera gear and hit the road on my bike. Usually I find it pretty hard to stop and shoot along the way when I'm traveling and have a destination in mind, but this trip I really made an effort to stop and capture some of the scenes of Saskatchewan that I've bypassed before. Here you've got some strange salt deposits. There's also plenty of grain elevators, derelict buildings, silos, just, a ton of things to catch the eye. The geography of Alberta, the next province over, doesn't change drastically till you get close to the mountains. There was this one scene that caught my eye as I rode past, just a simple road on the side of the highway. It's easy once you pass something to keep going, but this is a case where I forced myself to turn around and backtrack. Something about the lone road and the tree and the lightnings and clouds really interested me. It looked cinematic, like a scene out of a movie. So anyway, I made it to Calgary pretty late on Friday night. Calgary is just over an hour from the mountains, and it's a fairly large city. Saturday was all rain, so I ended up staying there and only managed to shoot a little. But Sunday, weather was looking good, so I got out there and headed towards the Rockies. In the mountainous regions, the weather can be pretty dynamic, so I headed straight for Lake Louise with a few stops along the way. Lake Louise is a beautiful location, but unfortunately the clouds had moved in and it was fully overcast. It was nice soft lighting, but the vibrant colors I was hoping for weren't showing themselves. I ended up scouting around for a little and, I found some preferable locations, but the light still wasn't ideal for shooting. I'm a patient guy though, so I set up my 4x5 field cam and grabbed a sandwich out of my bag and just waited. Now, the large format camera always draws a crowd, and there's no shortage of other tourists checking out the lake. So I was happy to answer questions, and I really enjoy giving demonstrations too and brightening people's day. So I figured, heck, I wasn't going to be shooting landscapes until the lighting got better, so I took a bunch of portraits and gave them away to people. I also did end up shooting a few frames of the lake. Unfortunately, the weather stayed overcast, and I eventually had to return back to Calgary for the night. Here are a few shots from the way back. Now, the next day I needed to get back to Saskatchewan, but I also really wanted to see Waterton Lakes National Park. It's about a 3-hour detour to the south, and although it delayed my return home, it was well worth it. On the way, I passed through the town of Nanton and saw these beautiful grain elevators, so I stopped and shot a few frames. I really loved the color of the scene, but it also had really strong contrast and texture, and these are qualities that work well in black and white. So in the end, I decided to use the Hasselblad's interchangeable film backs and shoot both slide film and black and white film using an orange filter. As I got closer to Waterton Lakes, the geography got more mountainous. The park itself is a beautiful collection of lakes and mountains with the small town of Waterton at its base. It's right on the southern edge of Alberta, and some of the lakes even partially extend into the state of Montana. Anyway, eventually I started running out of daylight and made the ride home. Here are a few other images I captured along the way. I've developed the large format images I shot, but I've yet to scan them. Presently my scanner can only do medium format and 35mm. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.